higher, further, faster. In this episode, we'll reveal everything about one of the most powerful superheroes of all Marvel Universe.
And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors?
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
She has an immense range of different powers and her fair share of lovers. Here are 99 super facts about the long-awaited Captain Marvel. Will she be able to save the planet from Thanos' finger snap? Before we start, please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and ring that bell like hell. We count on you. Are you ready? Let's get this started. Roy Thomas and artist Gene Colan were the creative minds behind the creation of Carol Danvers back in March 1968. She appeared for the first time in Marvel Superheroes issue number 13. The character's full name is Carol Susan Jane Danvers, born in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes.
She started out in the comics as a United States Air Force fighter pilot when she was 18 years old. She did this to help pay for her college fees because her father refused to do so. She later became NASA's security chief. There, she worked with Dr. Philip Lawson, who was secretly the Kree alien Marvel. She became half Kree and half human after she was caught in a psych magnetron explosion with the Kree Mar-Vell, and her DNA merged with his, resulting in her gaining powers. After the incident that led to her receiving her powers, Carol became a NASA whistleblower, where she wrote a scathing expose that cost her her job. This explosion resulted in her developing a split personality. Wow, that's messed up. In the first version of her origin story, Carol Danvers took up the moniker of Miss Marvel from the superhero she got her powers from, Mar-Vell. Mar-Vell is actually the original Captain Marvel. She would only become Captain Marvel in 2012. This clever decision was made by comic writer Kelly Sue DeConnick. The second captain was Monica Rambeau, a police lieutenant from New Orleans created by Roger Stern and Joan Romita Jr. The third version was called Genus Vell, appearing for the first time in Silver Surfer Annual issue number 6 in 1993. Phyla Vell was Genus' younger sister, and the fourth Captain Marvel. In a different storyline of the character, Novar took the identity after joining the Dark Avengers. Carol Danvers' character saw its success happening in Captain Marvel issue number 1, selling out immediately upon its release in September 2012. This made the script for the movie to be made and was originally announced in 2014. It only took, 5 years to get it into the big screen, no big deal. She briefly worked with the Daily Bugle as the editor for their women's subsidiary, Woman magazine. Jonah Jameson, the owner, later fired her because they often clashed over the magazine's content. The first edition of her costume was immediately met with backlash as readers and designers considered the oddly placed cutout highly impractical. Later, the costume was modified into one that covered her belly and eventually into her classic semi-leotard. After officially taking up the title of Captain Marvel, she donned her elite blue and red outfit. This change was made so that she looks more like a battle-ready core team member of the Avengers. Carol Danvers has been a part of several superhero teams such as the X-Men, the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, S.H.I.E.L.D., New Avengers, Defenders, and the Starjammers. She has done it all.
I like this one.
While she didn't make an appearance in the film, she was an integral part of Marvel's Civil War. She was Team Iron Man, at least in the comics. However, in Civil War II, she leads her own faction fighting Iron Man in battle. Maybe that's the reason why she wasn't in the movie. She wanted to use Ulysses Kane's ability to predict the future to stop crime. In one storyline, she loses her powers and memories when the mutant superhero Rogue touches her. She gets saved by Spider-Woman and is taken in by Professor X, who is able to restore Danvers' memories. Rogue even permanently retains some of her powers after Danvers' powers have been restored. She was once romantically involved with fellow Air Force officer James Rhodes, aka War Machine. Their relationship abruptly ended when Thanos murdered Rhodes. Carol also had an illicit affair with Wonder Man, but it didn't last long. But perhaps her strongest relationship was with Wolverine. Due to their uncertain and unreliable memories, it wasn't a success either. She already had different names besides Captain, like Binary when she linked to the X-Men team, and also Warbird later on. This last one was due to some tragedies in her life, which worsened when she started drinking. When she was Binary, she was able to acquire godlike powers thanks to another alien race. But the most well-known name was Miss Marvel. The comic book with this same title was originally released in 1977, after creators understood she could lead her own story. This self-titled series lasted 23 issues. A superheroine Pakistan teenager who was a big fan of Carol Danvers later took this name. Her nearly endless list of superpowers includes super strength, energy absorption, energy projection, the ability to fly, psychic powers, and durability. In her solo movie, she will be the most powerful superhero in the MCU, according to director of Marvel Studios. DC also had a character named Captain Marvel. He was later renamed Shazam due to legal reasons. Like Captain Marvel, Shazam will also have its movie this year, starring Zachary Levi. In another version of the comics, Carol was shown to have an alcohol problem following the death of her boyfriend and loss of powers. After the incident that led to her powers, Danvers suffered from brain damage and loss of memory. Will we see this happening in the movie? Miss Marvel was originally her alter ego who would appear only when Carol suffered from blackouts. At some point, she is kidnapped and raped by a character named Marcus and taken to another dimension. She later gives birth to a child who grows up to be very similar to his father. She was supposed to make an appearance on Netflix's Jessica Jones, but was replaced by the character of Trish Walker. Initially, she was supposed to make an appearance in Avengers: Age of Ultron. She was also supposed to be the main character in a young adult novel written by Shannon Hale and Dean Hale, but till now, nothing is known about the book. Danvers has a loyal following of fans known as the Carol Corps. Also, there is a subgroup known as the Carol Corps Yarn Brigade, which is a knitting club. Before its cinematic debut in March, Captain Marvel had already appeared in the small screen many times, like in X-Men, the animated series, Avengers Assemble, Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel Rising, Secret Warriors. She also appeared in video games like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Lego Marvel Adventures. Grey DeLisle was the most famous actress to give voice to the superheroine. Well, until this year. The main villains of the new Captain Marvel movie will be the Skrulls, which are an alien race that can shapeshift. Besides the characters already said, others have taken on the Captain Marvel name, like Sharon Ventura, Carla Sofin, and Kamala Khan. In order of appearance, Carol Danvers became the 6th character to do so. Khan was the first Muslim character to headline a Marvel comic. After Marvel stepped up their standards by making a movie with a cast entirely of black actors in Black Panther, Captain Marvel will be the first female superhero in the MCU to get a solo film, played by Brie Larson. It will be the film number 21 in the MCU. Her choice was polemic due to her showing lack of expression in her scenes. Brie Larson underwent fight training at the Nellis Air Force Base to get familiar with the fighter jet cockpit and airplane controls. In the film's initially released photos, Brie Larson's costume is a green combat suit. This is speculated to be a nod to her Kree counterpart, Mar-Vell's original costume.
You know how to fly this thing?
The film's release date in India is March 8, 2019, which happens to be International Women's Day. To get into shape for the movie, Larson trained for 9 months. Before the Captain Marvel movie was announced, storyboard artist Ben Bates brought an idea for an animated Captain Marvel show to Marvel Animation. Unfortunately for him, not only did it not get picked up, but Marvel wouldn't even listen to his pitch. Ouch. Captain Marvel the movie will take place in the 1990s and will be an origin story, more specifically in 1995. However, it won't be told in a traditional way, according to the writers. Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg, who play Nick Fury and Agent Coulson, respectively, will be de-aged 25 years for this new adventure. After she lost her powers, Danvers was kidnapped by an alien race called the Brood, who would go on to abuse and experiment on her. However, this actually resulted in her not only getting her powers back, but more enhanced versions of them as well. She even got the new ability of surviving in space. She once had a pet cat named Chewie. In reality, it was a flurkin, an alien creature with giant tentacles and fangs. She thought it was a normal cat till Rocket Raccoon explained her the truth. As you can imagine, the creature was named after the iconic Star Wars character Chewbacca. However, in the movie version, the pet is named Goose, a reference to the Top Gun character played by Anthony Edwards. The origin story of Captain Marvel was slightly altered for the movie in order to eliminate any confusion with DC's Hal Jordan story, which was also a pilot who received his powers through an alien race. To get a more cohesive universe, Nicole Perlman, writer of Guardians of the Galaxy, was brought back to co-write Carol Danvers' film and reintroduce Ronan the Accuser. 3 female screenwriters wrote the movie. Since Brie Larson wasn't so well known at the time, actresses like Bryce Dallas Howard, Emily Blunt, and Jessica Chastain were considered for the role. Captain Marvel was ranked 11th on IGN's Top 50 Avengers. She occupied the 29th spot in Comics Buyer's Guide's 100 Sexiest Women in Comics list. Danvers will time travel in the upcoming movie, perhaps to the future to restore the damage caused by Thanos. The character Maria Rambeau is one of Danvers' closest friends, and perhaps the mother of Monica Rambeau, another person who previously took on the Captain Marvel title. The Star Force, led by Jude Law, will also have Min-Erva and Karath in the team. The movie had two directors, Anna Boden and Ryan K. Fleck. The origin story will be even more feminist than initially thought.
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Can Captain Marvel beat Wonder Woman at the box office and the hearts of the fans? Will she be the key to save the universe from Thanos and possible new threats in Avengers Infinity War? We sure are excited to see what Marvel has in store. And what about you? Do you know any more facts that we forgot to tell? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to check our list on the channel. Bye!